12. Right speech from the heart of the Buddha's teaching, transforming suffering into peace, joy, and liberation by Thich Nhat Hanh. The fourth mindfulness training gives us a good description of right speech. And I'm just going to read it as it is in the book. Aware of the suffering caused by unmindful speech and the inability to listen to others, I am committed to cultivating loving speech and deep listening to bring joy and happiness to others and relieve others of their suffering. Now, I'm going to read that again because it really talks about the purpose of this chapter. It's not just right speech for just the sake of having right speech. It really is a purpose. Aware of the suffering caused by unmindful speech and the inability to listen to others, I am committed to cultivating loving speech and deep listening. Why? To bring joy and happiness to others and relieve others of their suffering. Knowing that words can create happiness or suffering, I am determined to speak truthfully, with words that inspire self-confidence, joy, and hope. I will not spread news that I do not know to be certain, and will not criticize or condemn things of which I am not sure. I will refrain from uttering words that can cause division or discord, or that can cause the family or the community to break. I am determined to make all efforts to reconcile and resolve all conflicts, however small. Now that's something to really think about. That's a big order. So what exactly is right speech? It is speaking truthfully. However, there's a delicate balance between speaking truthfully and saying something that is unkind or cruel, although it may be true. And here's an example. Johnny gives his brother Robert a hat he purchased when he was on vacation. Johnny was so excited because he knew his brother loved this baseball team and it was Robert's birthday. So he was just all full of himself, thinking, I'm going to get this for my brother. When Johnny gave Robert his gift, Robert said, "Why'd you buy this color red? I hate red. You keep the hat for yourself. I'm not going to wear it." Robert felt he was being honest. And my question is, do you believe he was practicing right speech? And if so, why? If you didn't think he was, why not? Tai tells us that in our minds and seeds of Buddha, Tai tells us that in our mind are seeds of Buddha and unresolved, unwholesome seeds. So why are we encouraged to practice right speech? It is to try to change our habits so that our speech arises from the seed of the Buddha that is in us and not from unwholesome seeds. Why? So we can transform suffering into peace, joy, and liberation. Now just imagine if we actually could do that, how good we would feel. Because I know I really have a quick mouth, and I know that I can say things without thinking to get the upper hand. I know how to have a smart retort. After reading this chapter several times, I understood the importance of being vigilant and the mindfulness of my thoughts and how it impacts my speech. Recently, my sister and my niece visited me. My sister and I had not seen each other in probably around 4 years, although we have spoken on the phone. My sister told me that she needed to speak with me in person as she wanted to look me in the eye and tell me how much I hurt her. And you know I didn't think I hurt her, right? You understand that. I did not think that I had hurt her. I knew she had been angry with me, but I didn't know to what extent or how long she had felt this way. So during her visit, she got a chance to talk to me, and I decided to just listen to what she had to say without interruption. I listened and I breathed. At some point, I realized that she was rehashing the past, and many things she said were really not true. At least I didn't think they were. However, I was determined to listen so that she felt heard. When I felt as though I wanted to correct her, I took a breath and kept my mouth shut. I realized I was used to defending myself, and it was uncomfortable listening, but I did. Afterwards, I told her that I loved her and was sorry for anything I had done to hurt her. Although I know we did not resolve everything between us, I was happy that she was willing to leave the past behind. She said that. She told me she's going to leave the past in the past. So when she doesn't, I can at least have you guys as proof that she said it. And I realized allowing someone to be heard is really priceless. And knowing that I continued to come to terms with my own past, and sometimes I am unsure of what is true, I realized that my sister may be experiencing the same thing. I also realized that I have a habit of thinking of her in a negative way, which is a habit I really do plan on breaking. I realized it was how I made myself feel better. Because just like I am a good arguer, you can imagine growing up in a family where we all are just about equal. And usually the loudest one is the one that gets the last word. Unless we are mindful, unless we monitor our thoughts or pay attention to what is building up inside of us, we will sow seeds of anger and resentment instead of peace. We must continuously water seeds of love and peace if we wish to be filled with love and be peaceful. It is so simple, yet something that is not so easy to do, especially when we feel that someone has hurt us. Ty says in the book, he said, speech is the way for our thinking to express itself out loud. He didn't say out loud, he said aloud. And as simple as that is, I never really thought about it that way. You know, that really when I say something, it's because that's what I'm thinking. And I don't know if we are really that aware. We just go on, just tick, 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 all day long saying stuff. And I wonder if we really understand that speech is the way for our thinking to express itself aloud. I know now that when I'm thinking negatively, my habit energies are at work. If I am desiring to correct my habit energies, I must first recognize that I have these habits and realize that is what they are. It's a habit. Mindfulness is the energy that allows us to recognize our habit energy and preventing it from dominating us. Right speech is speaking truthfully, not saying one thing to one person and something else to another. In my day, we called it two-faced. oh, she's so two-faced. She said something to me, and then she said something else to my friend. Didn't realize everybody's talking to each other about her. It's speaking kindly, not shouting, slandering, cursing, or encouraging suffering, or creating hatred, and not exaggerating or embellishing. Buddhism teaches that mindfulness is the capacity to dwell in the present moment, to know what is happening in the here and now. When we breathe in and know we are breathing in, that is mindfulness. Every breath and every step we take lead us to the present moment, lead us to our true home, the here and now. When we allow ourselves to become conscious of our breathing, it can lead us to the causes behind our suffering. When feelings of anger rise, just taking a deep breath and bringing my attention back to the present moment right now allows me to come back to myself and lead me to a peaceful state. This is something that practice and more practice can help with. Acknowledging anger and sadness is how we touch our suffering. It is when we realize that on the other side of suffering, happiness awaits. Now, I want to explain why I went into talking about mindfulness, because I truly believe that if I want to have right speech, right listening, I have to be mindful. It just cannot occur unless I am doing those things. I'd like to leave you with this. When I began my practice, there are many things I did not understand. However, I began to understand and continue to understand. I like the idea that we are not asked to accept a theory that we have not personally verified. I can tell you from personal experience that the practice of silence has numerous benefits, and the practice of listening has numerous benefits. Try it. You might like it. And I'm going to end there.